Alright, so here we go. I'm just gonna get right into it, do another review right away. I have kind of a different setup going on. You might have noticed I have this nice blue glow on my face. It's from my computer, and I have like a second monitor as well. So if you see me looking to the side and up, that's what I'm looking at my monitors. But apparently the video camera on my laptop was made in about 1998, so the quality is pretty crappy on my first video that I did. So I figured I'd switch it up and use my iPhone because the video camera is awesome on it. So that's kind of why the setup's gonna might be changing a little bit every once in a while until I figure out how to get it set up really nice and all that. And also, if it's on my iPhone, I could maybe show you random stuff if I need to sometime. Anyways, to the movie. So, gonna be reviewing here the new 21 Jump Street that came out 2012. And I'm pretty slow to get on to watching comedies. I rarely go see them in the theater unless I hear something really good about them or I can go for free, which happens sometimes. So, unless something like that happens, I'll just wait for it to come out on DVD. I'll rent it or just wait for it to come on Netflix, which I usually do with comedies. Because you're not really, my theory has always been that you're not missing out on anything by watching a comedy at your house, as opposed to like a big action movie or something crazy like Gravity, something that needs to feel big in a theater, something like that. You want to go to the actual movie theater watch it. But a comedy, it's just funny. It'll be just as funny at home. And so it's taken a while to get me to see this movie, but I'd heard really good things about it from all my friends that have seen it. So I was looking forward to watching it. I like Jonah Hill. I think he's funny. Of course, he's one of the main actors. But I have my reservations about Channing Tatum. He's the other lead. I don't really like anything he's in, to be honest. The one movie that I could tolerate him in was called Stop Loss. It was a movie about soldiers coming back from war. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in that with him. He was really good in that. Other than that, I don't think he's that great of an actor overall. But he's really good in this. Actually, they both are. If you don't know, 21 Jump Street was a TV show, 80s. It's what kicked Johnny Depp's career off. He did that for a couple years, and then he started taking different roles, crazy roles like Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that to get away from his heartthrob image that he had created on 21 Jump Street. And what it is, it follows cops that go undercover in high school. And so this is a remake, kind of like a reinterpretation, reiteration, whatever you want to call it, of that story. Jonah Hill plays Schmidt. That's his name. I think they go by their last names, Schmidt. And Channing Tatum's character name is Jenko. I always think of Jinko jeans when they're saying his name. If anybody wore those crazy, gigantic pants. I know I did. Jenko. That's his name. So Schmidt and Jenko, they went to high school together. I think they're in Florida. Somewhere. Florida or California. They went to high school together. Jonah Hill, Schmidt, was kind of a loser. He wasn't a nerd. He wasn't a geek. He looked like Eminem. Early Eminem, blonde hair, big white tee. That's how he dressed. He's just kind of a dork, an outcast or whatever. Not popular. Channing Tatum, of course, was a big jock, popular, bully. And so he was cool. Although he looked dorky, he had really long hair. It was pretty funny. So they don't get along. They're not friends or anything in high school. They graduate. They go into the police academy though, and meet up because Jonah Hill's character Schmidt is really smart, and he's getting straight A's in all of his classes. Where Jenko is failing. He's really dumb. He's failing, but he's doing great on all the physical stuff. And Jonah Hill, Schmidt, is not doing great in the physical, so they help each other out. And they become friends, which is good. And then a new program. Actually, there's a really funny scene with Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec, is like the police chief. They apprehend somebody, and they don't read him his rights, so he gets away. And that's like their first bust that they screw up. They're not good cops, really. Or they haven't been able to prove it anyway. And anyways, they're a new program they're starting where they have people that look young are going to go undercover in high school, and they're chosen to go into a certain school. There's other people, other cops going to other schools. Ice Cube is their captain. He's in charge of them in this program, I guess. And so there's a drug problem in the schools. A new synthetic drug is being made, and it makes people go crazy. And so their job is to go in and stop it. And the plan is that Channing Tatum, Jenko, of course, is going to be in with the cool kids, and Schmidt is going to infiltrate the nerds or whatever. He's going to go that route, and so they're each going to try to figure out who the suppliers are at the school, and then who's supplying the kids, and then who's making it. I get, the top dog or whatever. So they get in, but they switch their transcripts, their class schedules at the beginning. So Channing Tatum, Jenko is stuck with like the AP, the really hard science classes that Schmidt was going to take, and vice versa. Schmidt's taking like drama class because I thought that'd be easy for Jenko. So they get switched, and eventually it works out though, because now all the students are different. They're not bullies. They're not the smart kid, or the popular kids are not the jocks and the bullies. The popular kids are like environmental friendly and everything, aware. And Schmidt starts fitting in with them, and Jenko feels left out, but he gets in with the nerdy science kids, and they both kind of do their thing. Anyways, they get going, and they start to find out who's supplying the drugs. And so some of the other cast members are Dave Franco. You'd recognize him. He's James Franco's younger brother. He's in a couple movies coming up, and he's in some other smaller parts in other movies. He's the lead guy. He's selling the drugs, and he's one of the popular kids. And then his kind of, not really girlfriend, but the girl that he hangs out with a lot is played by Brie Larson. I don't know her for much else. Let's see real quick. I feel like she might be on a TV show. No. Movies, you probably recognize her. Anyways. And Schmidt kind of starts getting a thing going with her. But they find him, and they have to figure out how they can stop him. At the same time, they're going through high school again, but different roles. Jenko's not the popular jock anymore. He's on the outsider, and Schmidt is popular. So they're reliving that. There's that whole situation going on, which is pretty funny. And there's some good action too, because then there's like a whole high school aspect to it, but then they mix it in with the actual cop chases, and the drugs and everything, and it's done really well. I really like the movie overall. See, I gave it a 4.25, so that's pretty high, especially for a comedy. I thought it was really good at self-referencing that kind of cliched buddy cop drama, and also the fact that it's a remake of the show. There's a good cameo, which you can probably guess who the cameo is. But it's really good at that. It references itself well, making fun of the genre and the fact that it is remaking an 80s TV show. It's good at that. The action's good. The comedy's good. All the acting's good. Some of the other actors that are in it are Jake Johnson, Ellie Kemper from The Office, Chris Parnell. They play teachers. Jake Johnson is the principal. And Rob Riggle is a big character too. He is a phys ed teacher. So yeah, I really liked it. It was good. Definitely worth a watch. Some of the movies that I compared it to, make connections with, are, of course, you have to make a connection with Superbad because Jonah Hill's in it. And it's really funny, and actually has the high school aspect of Superbad, trying to fit in with everybody and party every once in a while. With the other movie I thought it was The Other Guys. And that was that buddy cop movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, where they're mess ups too. And so mix those two movies together, and this is what you get. 21 Jump Street. It's really good. Definitely worth a watch. They're coming out with sequel, 22 Jump Street, pretty soon, and they're going to college, so that should be pretty funny. And I'm actually pretty excited to see what they do for that one. I want to mention the directors for this movie, 21 Jump Street, are Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and they actually have a really good track record. They work together, they write and direct together. The first thing they did was called Clone High. I remembered it. It was on MTV for a brief run. There's only 13 episodes of it, but it was really funny. They did that, and then they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which I didn't watch because that doesn't sound like even a good kids movie to see. But I remember it being pretty popular when it came out. It made a lot of money. And then they did, even more recently, they just did the Lego Movie, which I heard great things from. I heard that movie's like awesome. So really good track record for them. And then of course they're both going to be doing writing and directing at least directing the 22 Jump Street, which is coming up. So yeah, excited to see kind of where their career goes, because they're kind of doing a little bit of everything. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. So those are the directors. Again, really good. And I guess a reference to the movie to sign off is, don't forget to read your Miranda rights.